Welcome to video 10 in the Maintaining a Balance series. In this video, we're going to be focusing on metabolism and how we need to maintain water and waste levels to ensure that our metabolism and our metabolic activity is at its optimal rate. We're looking at the dot points starting on our 9.2.3 series, and we're looking at how water is important in our cells, and while the removal of waste is also important. When we talk about maintaining water and waste products, we're talking about the process of excretion. This is the process by which waste products that are formed from metabolism are removed from the body. If they're not removed, then they can poison the organism and interfere with metabolism, which means that it doesn't happen at the rate that it should, and sometimes reactions can't or don't occur, and then that can be toxic to the organism. When we're talking about the waste products that our body produces from metabolism, we are talking about carbon dioxide, and that's removed via the lungs. And then we're talking about nitrogenous waste, which is removed by the kidneys. The role of the excretory system is to regulate levels of water and salts within the body, and also to eliminate wastes that are toxic to cells. The way in which the excretory system does that is by removing metabolic waste, maintaining water and salt levels at their optimal levels, and that's known as osmoregulation. The excretory system maintains blood pH, and it also maintains blood volume, which is really important for blood pressure. If we think about water, we think about water as the solvent that is the aquatic medium of cytoplasm in the cells and also in body fluids. In plants, we're talking about water being used as a transport medium. If there are any changes in the water concentration, it can lead to changes in the solute concentration in cells, and that's because of osmosis and diffusion. So the concentration of water in our bodies determines the osmotic gradient. So that's the rate at which water moves through the selectively permeable membrane, which we talked about in the preliminary course. The osmotic pressure, or the rate at which the water moves, can affect the body's pH. And it's really important that fluid levels within cells especially are maintained at the level that it should be, because they're responsible for structural support within the cells and within the body. Here we have a picture about maintaining water concentrations, and we are talking about hypertonic, isotonic, and hypotonic solutions. So in hypertonic solutions, we're talking about a cell being in solutions that are low in water concentration. So therefore, water wants to move out of the cell, resulting in the cell becoming shriveled. Same thing within a plant cell. Isotonic solution, that's the solution that we want. It's the right level, so that we see equal movement of water into and out of the cell, and that the cell remains at its optimal size. When we think about a hypotonic solution, we're talking about cells being in a solution that is very, very concentrated. So there's lots of water moving into the cell. In that case, we can see cells becoming large, and we can see in this picture that it does actually pop. The word which we use for that in a plant cell is that it becomes turgid. As mentioned previously, it's really important that we're able to remove waste from our body, because if they do accumulate in our body, they can be toxic, but it also causes a slowing down of the rate of our metabolic reactions. The osmotic imbalance, so what we looked at in the previous slide, can affect the membrane functioning. When we're talking about the waste building up, so the nitrogenous waste, usually we talk about that as being ammonia. If there's too much ammonia in a cell, it can increase the pH of the cell, making the cells become more alkaline. And if there's too much carbon dioxide in cells, it can lower the pH, meaning the cells become more acidic. And we know that outside the optimal pH ranges, cells can't carry out that metabolism at the rate at which we would like it. That's for video 10. Make sure you tune in for video 11.